Josh in California.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, Josh.
All right, hi. I recently thought of this question after I saw Richard Dawkins debate a cardinal of Fort Pell in Sydney, Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, George Pell's argument was that you need religion so you can have more morality, so you don't end up like Hitler and Stalin because they were atheists. And Dawkins lost it at this, and I agree with him that he should have not responded like that, but he had right to be angry.
So, Josh, your phone connection is kind of bad and choppy, so I hope you don't mind, but we're going to let you go and answer your question with you off air, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Don, you want to go first?
Yeah, well, as far as religion...
Or just to repeat the question,
Yeah.
what do you say about people who criticize atheism by pointing out that Stalin and Hitler were atheists, first of all, and as kind of a follow-up to that, I guess, that you need God to be moral and not wind up there?
Yeah, let me take that one.
Okay.
There's a study that's been done by a guy named Gregory S. Paul that correlates religious belief in various countries with various social ills like STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, teen pregnancy, teen suicide, infant mortality, life expectancy, all sorts of things, and finds that religious belief is correlated with those things, and that completely blows away this idea that religion or religious belief is necessary somehow for a moral society or for a better society. I've covered this also on a couple of different shows in the past on, godly societies, I think is the name of my show topic. But I'll let Russell take the if
the Hitler and
but I'd be happy
Stalin
to take
question?
it if you want. But I want to give you
Hitler was not an atheist.
He was Catholic.
Right. And there are some arguments. Actually, I think the thing that I would recommend that you do, first of all, is go to ironchariots.org and look up Hitler, because that is going to give you all the details that I'm going to get wrong right now. But Hitler... there's some question about how serious he was in his faith, and there's some quote polls of Hitler's which make him appear to be an unbeliever from sources that don't seem to have ever been published. So we just have secondhand accounts of them. But Hitler had the support of one of the popes of his time, and he wrote in Mein Kampf that he thought that by going after Jews, he was performing the Lord's work. And of course, he had a lot of support from earlier writings by Martin Luther, who was responsible for the church split between Catholicism and Protestantism, who wrote some extremely anti-Semitic stuff, like, for instance, a pamphlet called On the Jews and Their Lies.
Which was a bit of a blueprint for the Holocaust, because
Hitler
picked it up.
Right. I don't know that he actually advocated for murdering millions of people, but and needless to say, Christians would say that Hitler wasn't a true Christian, and by true Christian they would mean a Christian that we like.
Yeah, right. But the persecution of the Jews went all the way back to the time of Constantine.
Right, and whether or not Hitler was a true believer, he definitely used the language of religion and Christianity and the support of some major religious figures at the time to popularize his ideas among the general public in Germany.
He was a creationist too.
What makes you say that?
He promoted that in his schools.
Oh, okay. Stalin was an atheist, at least as far as I know. Mm-hmm. So it's true that there are elements of communism which speak supportively of atheism, and that in some communist states, I believe, have actually forbidden religious worship in some cases. All I can really say about that is we don't support that. I mean,
Sure.
There's nothing in atheism that specifically mandates that sort of behavior. Atheism is just not believing in God, and we on the Atheist Experience are very clear that people should have whatever beliefs they feel like. They only shouldn't be allowed to act on them if they are extremely harmful to other people, and if they are oppressive. And if we were living under the tyranny of Stalinism, which basically substituted him as sort of an infallible ruler in place of a religious figure, you can bet that a lot of modern atheists who believe in social justice and equal rights for people and learning things through proper science and not just torturing people and pretending it's science would be the first in line to fight against people like that.
Yeah.
Anything to add, Don?
Yeah, well, just to emphasize, the lack of a belief in something is not a reason to go do something else. It's not, you can't connect the dots between here and there. Stalin's, was promoting his own ideals with communism and such, and despite the U.S. propaganda, atheists today are science-minded, they're empiricists, these sorts of things, and doesn't get you to killing lots and lots of people.
Right. And I'd also point out that a lot of people who hate communism passionately are atheists. I believe Bertrand Russell wrote very vehemently against the spread of communism, and Ayn Rand, who is not my personal favorite atheist, but she is definitely an atheist and hated communism arguably more than anyone else ever.
Right, absolutely.